Today, we are here to celebrate a life well lived, a job well done, somebody who was not only a hero in South Carolina, but a hero amongst us all.
Today, South Carolinians paid tributes to civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson.
And this afternoon, we've given you an inside look at the special memorial service taking place, remembering the man known as South Carolina's son.
If you would like to continue watching that service, it is streaming right now on our website, WIFF4.com. And this is all a part of a series of events honoring the Reverend's legacy. We do have live team coverage tonight outside of the memorial service at Brooklyn Baptist Church and the State House in Columbia.
First, we go to our Nigel Robertson with the latest. Nigel.
Yeah, the service is still taking place at Brooklyn Baptist Church behind me. It is a packed house in there as so many are saying their goodbyes to Reverend Jesse Jackson. From sunup to sundown, there have been events and services at the State House where he lied in honor for much of the day. There was a wreath-laying ceremony as well where dignitaries and elected officials said their goodbye and talked about how this son of South Carolina went on to propel of movement and impact so many in this country and around the world. It was an emotional day for so many as they came out to say their goodbyes. The family of Jesse Jackson saying that they wanted to thank Governor McMaster for allowing them to bring the body to South Carolina and give it the reverence that they say that their father deserved. It was a day of emotion. It was a day of goodbyes. It was a day also of celebration for the life well lived. So many came from all over the Southeast to say goodbye, and that's where my colleague Naomi Popa is right now with more on the impact from the people who showed up. Naomi.
Yeah, and Nigel, I'll echo that same sentiment. People from across South Carolina and beyond just came here today. They wrapped around the State House, somewhat echoing even a warm hug around Jesse Jackson, waving goodbye to the civil rights trailblazer.
I can look at someone like Jesse Jackson and the adversities and the conflicts that he faced to still do what he felt in his heart and he believed was the right thing to do. And that is a constant encouragement to me.
From the pulpit to protests and everything in between, Jesse Jackson's life is being remembered at the South Carolina State House, where he was laid in honor.
That so many people loved him. I am not unique in my love.
That was Salima Marriott, a former secretary of the Rainbow Push Coalition. She worked alongside Jesse Jackson, often accompanying him on various trips. Jackson became her inspiration, even pushing her to run for office as a member of the House of Delegates in Maryland.
He was just remarkable. And rarely do you find anybody as high up as he was and went, who is so in touch with the people.
Marriott traveled from Atlanta, Georgia with her daughter to pay tribute to Jackson, expressing thanks that the civil rights trailblazer both led her and inspired her.
It was an amazing experience for me to have known him. And I'm just glad that I have the opportunity to honor him today.
But Marriott is not alone. Hundreds gathered to pay tribute to Jackson, with some leaving the State House emboldened to carry his legacy.
It's about humanity, and we need to stand firm for the right for people to live. All the things he fought for. You know, he fought for a living wage, health care, you know, access to jobs. Those are things that are still relevant today.
Live in Columbia, I'm Naomi Popa, WIFF News 4.
Naomi, thank you. And Nigel, thank you. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster has ordered all flags to fly at half-staff for Reverend Jesse Jackson through sunset tonight.
Next, the Reverend's body is expected to be transported to Washington, D.C. for more services to remember his life. In Chicago, there will be a public homegoing service on Friday, March 6th at the House of Hope, followed by a private service Saturday at the Rainbow Push headquarters.
You can find more of our coverage remembering the life of Reverend Jesse Jackson, including the entire memorial service right now on WIFF4.com.